softball for a little bit. So now I'm going to go on. Do you believe in God?
Because I was taught when I was 5 years old. I went to Sunday school Sunday morning, Church of England Sunday school. We were taught, we had the Bible was a textbook in our schools, everyday schools. So we had a Bible class every day in school. And so we had to learn scriptures. We had to recite scriptures, and national thing. All the schools taught the Bible. To Peterborough, and I was invited to go to the Assembly of God Church. They believed in salvation. The Church of England doesn't preach salvation, but they preach Christianity and the Lord wholeheartedly. But the Church of England in the Lord, and they didn't call it guidance when the last 2 weeks when Grandpa was gone.
Yeah.
And so when he proposed, he asked right away.
Yeah. Wow.
First in his life, to sin, he asked the Lord to forgive you right away, and asked Jesus to cleanse you with his blood. He's somebody that's not a Christian, because they might take your mind around. Marry somebody that believes in the Lord, and fill at church. If you get somebody or pray with somebody, like I've Romans 8:28.
8:28 is my favorite.
Yeah, all things work together.
Okay. Couple more questions.
Years ago, he was ready to meet the Lord, so and he suffered. It was a happy release for him.
Who is that?
Has been here over the years, different pastors that came around, gave the gospel out, and told Christians how they're supposed to live.
What is your favorite song or hymn?
With my soul.
That's your favorite one?
The one that that man wrote when his wife and children were going on a boat back to England.
And it wrecked?
Spafford. Is it Spafford, was it? I can't think of his name. Something like that. And they had New York. They've gone back to England, and he was in New York, and his wife and children were going back to England. I think there was three children. Wasn't it? They had a tap on the ocean, and the boat sank, and just had a collision or something. They sank, and he lost his three children, but his wife was saved. And then when he heard about it, he took a boat to go to England, because another boat took those that were saved back to England. He took the next boat back to England, and they went on the boat. The captain showed them all on the boat where they had the problem when the boat sank. And so he sat on the deck and wrote that song. When peace like a river attendeth my soul, and sorrows like sea billows roll. What comes next after that? Sea billows roll. For my lot thou hast taught me to say it as well with my soul. Yeah. And that book that I gave you on original songs, that's in there. It tells you the whole details of that.
I remember reading that.
Yeah.
Couple more questions.
Yeah.
Your mother was?
Because she used to, before she was married, she lived in London. She was a cook there. And she belonged to a mission in London, in the slums of London. She belonged to a mission. They had slums there where poor people lived. And then she'd go with a ministry group, preaching to these slums in London, these people, and helping them out. So she'd tell us all about that, and how she used to do that.
Oh, wow.
And so she was the one that made us go, that put us in Sunday school in the first place when we were 5 years old.
Yeah.
Half an hour in the morning and half an hour in the evening.
Half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening.
Half an hour.
Before you go to bed.
That is before I go to bed in the evening. Half an hour in the evening, half an hour in the morning. And I have a whole list of requests in my mind that I take. Different ones added on all the time, you know. As get answered, then I drop them.
Yeah.
What is it? The Lord, and go to church, and they all do that.
What about you?
As they go to church too, and keep the testimony of the family, but they're not all doing it. But I'm praying for them.
Yeah. So that's some of your prayer requests.
They're all in my prayer requests, yeah.
And then as a final question, what is the final word?
First in your life, any decision you make, ask yourself the question, what would Jesus do? We were taught that in church. What would Jesus do? That's doubt is to know what's right and what's wrong. Just think to yourself, well, what would Jesus do in this circumstance? If you know the scriptures at all, you'd know what he'd do. He'd do the right thing. and go the right way.
That's why it's good to be biblically literate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Something that would honor him and not cause you to sin.
Mm-hmm. Well, that'll be it. Say goodbye.
Bye.
Another further one. So, yeah, just kind of...
I don't like fireworks because when I was young, my brothers were all home with us. I had 6 brothers. Our toilet outside was a little outhouse next to the house. It was a small place and with one door. And there was a space under the door. And in England, they have fireworks on November the 5th. That's their fireworks day. And I was in the toilet one night, and my brothers put a firework under the door, lit it and put it under the door. And I had nowhere to go. And it just blew up right in front of me.
Wow.
I got scared out of my wits.
So that's why you're scared of fireworks now.
I don't like them now. I like the pretty ones, but I don't like the bangers.
You like them from a distance.
Yeah, I don't like the bangers.
Is there any other little stories or anything that you want to kind of...
World War II, we had to go in shelters during air raids, and they had shelters outside to start with in the war. Then towards the end of the war, they had tables in the house, iron tables, where you could eat around them, and then go under the table during an air raid. And the sirens used to go, and you'd go under the table. And when I worked in the factory, I was assigned to fire duty once a week. Everybody was assigned to fire duty. That means it was they dropped fire bombs a lot of the times.
Yeah.
To light the towns up, so that the planes could follow and bomb where the fires were. You see. And then I took first aid first aid lessons, so I had to work at the first aid post one night a week too. That was not too far from our house. It was an air raid and people got hurt, but we didn't have any air raids that hurt anybody.
Yeah.
We had air raids that hurt the buildings, but they didn't hurt any people.
That's good then.
In our town, anyhow. But you'd hear the planes go over just about every night to go to the north of England, and they would drop bombs over there. Escaping this country, if I heard a plane, I got scared. So I thought about maybe it's Jack, and what kind of stuff? Don't you dare go to that camp and bother Cam today. Then when she was outside, he'd get his bicycle and go. That was Malcolm.
Malcolm?
Yeah. And the dad would feed him at the camp, and then they'd bike home. About 20 miles away.
But did Grandpa... Did he talk a lot to your brothers and sisters at all? Like, did he have any good conversations about?
Yeah, they all liked him. They were all home at one time from the camp. Years before I met Grandpa.
Was he an organist?
Yeah, he was a pianist. He's a pianist, and he was a deacon in the church. And he said, it was a good movie. It was he paid for it. We went in the movie and sat in the seat. And then before the movie, Apple Blossom Time. Apple Blossom Time was the movie.
It was a good movie?
And we sat in the seat, and he said, we got to leave. I said, it hadn't even started yet. I said, why? A neighbor sitting down there. And he'll tell my dad that I was here, and I'll be in trouble when I get home. Let's get out of here. So we left.
Do you remember his name at all?
Who's Ray?
Ray.
Yeah.
Ray. Was it Ray Charles?
Ray Kell. Then when Sharon and I and Michael went to England to visit that time, he came over to see us. He was married. Yeah. A preacher's daughter.
The same girl he was married to.
Yeah. Just learned through the book. I've been baking cookies ever since I can remember. I did all the baking here. We didn't buy any pastries or anything. And then we used to make rolls too once a week.
And was Cadbury chocolate always
chocolate was always my favorite.
Wow. Was Cadbury's there when you were back then? Then too? So Cadbury's been around for a while.
Babies. No, not real young babies, but when you break them up and mash them up, and not the nut ones, but just the plain chocolate.
Flaky kind?
Yeah. Plain chocolate have it from. Might tell me tomorrow to quit eating chocolate.
Oh, I'm not gonna ever give that up. What about tea?
Yeah, I've always drank tea.
Did your mom show you how to make that, or did
They had loose tea in England. They
Loose
didn't at the time. Loose,
Blue.
loose,
Loose.
not in the bags.
Oh.
You get it out with a
Where you
spoonful.
strain it?
And get the spoonful and put in the teapot. Then you have a strainer.
That's what Michael does.
Yeah.
Michael still does that. And then
Yeah.
now you have a course. Like, I want to hear this. I want to hear it.
Yeah, they were missing some clothes off of the clothesline. I can't think they were tea towels or something.
Carl and Anna, right?
And yeah, and they asked me if I'd taken them, and I said no. And they said, well, you must have done. Nobody else has been around here. You shipped them back to England because they're all rationed over there. But tea towels weren't rationed anyhow, so just the clothes. And I said, no, I didn't. And then Grandpa Iverson, when he lived in the trailer outside, he had some money missing. And Mother's Day came around, and he bought a gift for all the women in the family for Mother's Day. And he said to me, he said, I'm not buying you a Mother's Day gift because you stole my money out of the trailer. And I didn't even know where it was.
Oh, wow.
And they spoke in Norwegian.
Yeah. But they spoke English, broken English, but when they want to speak to themselves and me not hear it, they spoke in Norwegian to themselves, between themselves.
But Grandpa could speak full English.
Yeah.
I take it.
And Norwegian, yeah.